This is The Civil Fleet, the podcast focused on activist-led refugee rescue and support missions across Fortress Europe. With me, Ben Coles. In this episode, we're going to speak with Denny, a young refugee from Kashmir who was forced to flee his homeland almost 9 years ago. Denny is going to tell us about his journey to and through Europe, how he was mistreated by the authorities, and how he was supported by activists acting in solidarity. We also talk about his time living in a squat in Bosnia and how looking after a dog there helped his mental state. So, before we get into today's episode, I'd like to remind you to check out the Civil Fleet website. That's civilfleet.com. We've got some news stories there, some interviews, and some exclusive stories there too, so go check that out. And if you like what the Civil Fleet is doing and you would like to help us to continue platforming these amazing people that we have had on this podcast, then you can make a small donation at ko-fi.com/civilfleet. That's ko-fi.com/civilfleet. Our costs are really low, but any help you can give us, any support, any donations will be greatly appreciated. Plus, there's a bonus episode on Ko-fi, which if you sign up for as little as £2, you can get a bonus episode there. And I hope to do some more of those in the future. Anyway, let's get on with today's episode. Okay, Denny, thank you very much for coming on the Civil Fleet podcast.
You're welcome. Thanks, you too, for inviting me.
It's really good. I've been looking forward to speaking to you for a few days, maybe a couple of weeks now. I've been looking forward to speaking to you. Today we're going to talk about Kashmir. We're going to talk about your journey to Bosnia and your life after Bosnia. We're going to talk a little bit about what it's like for you living in Bosnia and this kind of things. So yeah, it's been really good. I really wanted to speak to you. So Denny, first of all, can you tell us about yourself? What are you interested in? What do you do? Just tell us something about your life.
Right now I'm in Italy, so yeah, I'm doing well. I'm just doing a civil services job actually. So yeah, right now I'm fine actually. So yeah, I just had like some Italian lessons actually in last few years. So yeah, I'm in Italy actually since 2 years. So yeah, I just learned a new language, so I'm kind of now actually it's actually difficult for me to speak in English right now because since I'm just speaking different languages, so yeah, it's actually quite hard to communicate with people in English right now for me. Or sometimes even my native language, because I left Kashmir in a very young age, and when I was in Kashmir, so yeah, I was speaking also 2-3 languages there. Because it's something like Urdu we learned in schools, and English as well. So yeah, then there is another big region in Pakistan and India, they speak Punjabi. So yeah, I learned it as well. So yeah, this was like 2-3 languages. Then like this whole journey from like Kashmir, Pakistan, then many countries that I passed through. So yeah, I stayed in Turkey as well for 4.5 years approximately. So yeah, I learned Turkish as well. So now it's Italian, so that's why I have a bit difficulties. But anyways, yeah, I'm good actually. I'm doing well, yeah.
That's good. Thanks for that, Denny. It's really good to know that you're in Italy and that you're living in a safe place now. How are you finding learning Italian? Is it difficult to learn?
Well, I think yeah, it's quite difficult actually. I learned English actually, so I think I was lucky actually because they have many similar words, but the way they pronounce it's really difficult for me sometimes because sometimes I just got stuck actually while communicating with people and now in both, like before I was more fluent in English, but right now yeah, I'm fluent in Italian, but yeah, still sometimes it happens like when there is some similar words like they have in English. So yeah, I'm just used to pronounce this word in English. So sometimes it's getting complicated for me to just switch the different pronunciation. But yeah, it's going well actually. Yeah,
that's good. And how old are you?
I'm 26.
26. So you're quite young. I'm 40 years old. Let's talk about Kashmir. Let's start off with Kashmir. So I don't know very much about Kashmir. I know that Kashmir is it's above India, next to Pakistan and China. And India, China, and Pakistan, they all control different parts of Kashmir. That's what I know. I don't know if you have your own language in Kashmir or different religion. I don't know. Can you tell us? Tell us about life in Kashmir.
Well, yeah. In Kashmir, like, yeah, they occupied Kashmir like since 1947, and yeah, it's divided into Pakistan, India, and China, and the place I think controlled China. Like it were kind of gifted. It was a kind of gift from Pakistan. Actually, they gave them, So yeah, it's quite a complicated situation there right now because in 1948. There was big movements actually going on for the freedom of Kashmir, like for the independence of Kashmir. Then United Nations took a decision. Actually, they wanted to do a referendum actually. So then they will decide actually what the people from Kashmir want. So yeah, I mean majority was like hoping for like have a independent country, But at the end, that referendum never happened because, as you know, like we know very well actually what the United Nations can do maximum. Like we have examples right now, what's happening in Gaza. So yeah, we know the capability of them, what they can do. And yeah, I mean, unfortunately, since like 75 or 76 years since the Pakistan and India occupied Kashmir, there was really like violence going on in a very large scale. Like I can say there was I think in Indian occupied Kashmir specifically there is I think more than 100,000 people they got murdered by Indian military. And if you're watching right now in India, still for each person of like Kashmiri people, like in Indian occupied Kashmir there are 8 soldiers. So like you can imagine there is a population of military is 8 times more than the population of Kashmir. Like just it's crazy. And then like in Pakistan it's like kind of because like majority in Kashmir is Muslims. So in Pakistan right now it's yeah, I mean inside Pakistan it's already going on like kind of civil war. They have their own issues, like they're unable to give the rights to their own peoples. Like if we have an example of Balochistan, we have an example of KPK and other regions of Pakistan, like Waziristan. There were operations going on by Pakistani military, and they literally slaughtered a lot of families, like babies and everyone. Like the same thing like what's happening in Gaza, and these things we never heard from someone, because on these type of areas, like these type of regions in Pakistan and Kashmir, like the social media is very controlled, so like in local televisions, like they are not allowed to publish these type of news. Like I mean you're not gonna see, and like of course like somehow people like try to raise their voice, but whenever they try to raise their voice, there were always someone to just kill them, murder them, kidnapping them, and like putting them in a prison. So yeah, I mean there is of course different political parties still in Kashmir working for the freedom of Kashmir right now. Yeah, of course it's very difficult. In India it's very complicated right now because we have contacts with some of our comrades actually, but yeah, according to the reports, like it's really difficult now because in the government in India right now is a fascist government, as we know. So they are trying to like use every possible way to just shut the peoples, actually, not just in Kashmir but also other part in the India's, like in minorities. We know what they do. And yeah, in Pakistan we have like in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, like we have a very huge political movement right now. It was started like 1 year ago, and yeah, it just ended recently. And on 12th of May there was 3 activists, they died actually. the Pakistani Rangers. Actually, it's military called Rangers. So they killed them. Actually, they shooted them, and there were also some people they were shooted, like, but they're still alive, luckily. So yeah, around 30 people they are still in a hospital. Some of them in a serious condition, and like some of them they're recovering. So yeah, unfortunately, still situation is very difficult because like we have religious privilege actually with Pakistan, like because majority is Muslim. So I mean, if even there is no Muslim, like we have nothing to do with the religion, you know. I mean, we are just talking about the independence of Kashmir, and we have nothing to do with the people of Pakistan. We are also feeling sorry for them, like always whenever we hear some bad news. And yeah, unfortunately, sometimes we have to also face some difficulties from the public of Pakistan. But yeah, I think it's just due to the lack of awareness. Actually, maybe they are not well aware about the situation, because I can understand the social media is like under control and people cannot have accurate news. So maybe yeah, we are now we are used to actually hear traitors ourselves. So yeah, I mean, if fighting for the freedom and fighting for the freedom of your nation is like traitor, so I'm gonna proud on it actually.
Well, I imagine that maybe some people in Pakistan don't know because they don't hear about the media. They don't hear about it in the media. We have that situation in the UK with Northern Ireland. You know, we didn't know what was happening there all the time. So yeah, and this is a question, a silly question, I think, but Kashmir, you have a different language to India and Pakistan. You have, what's the language in Kashmir?
Yeah, it's a Kashmiri language. It's a properly like a different language. It's we have our native language. It's called Kashmiri, but unfortunately we are not allowed to read and write in Kashmir. Like in schools, we have to read and write in Urdu. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of oppression actually from states we are suffering from. But yeah, we have our native language. Like Kashmir is actually very big. So yeah, I mean, if like yeah, the population, like both parts in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and Indian-occupied Kashmir is like I think it's more than 10 million, you know. Because yeah, I mean, they already murdered many people. So yeah, we don't have, I don't remember exactly the latest the like population. So I don't know if they updated or not. I mean, anyway, who cares actually? Like we have a almost same history. Like Palestine got occupied in 1948, so we were in like 1 year before. So yeah, I mean, who cares about us and them? But yeah, anyways. There is a huge population, and like it's very big region actually if you combine all of them together. So yeah, like we have also differences even in Kashmiri. Like if I'm going in really far another region of Kashmir, so probably they are speaking in dialects, which is even complicated for me to understand. But at the end of the day, we can communicate with each other, like we have a language. Yeah.
And in Pakistan occupied Kashmir, you couldn't speak Kashmiri, you couldn't write it. Is that the same in India and in the Chinese control bit? Is it the same sort of oppression there?
Well, like in schools, like officially, of course they are using Hindi, because officially they are not allowed to use like Urdu or like Kashmiri. But yeah, I mean, for example, in even in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, like we can, like we are mostly communicating with each other in Kashmiri. But yeah, these are just, I'm talking about the like official language, and like, you know, more like in educational institutes, like we are going to study, you know. So there we are not allowed to actually read or write or use our own language. But yeah, still, like I'm gonna be honest with you, like sometimes we don't care about teachers. But yeah, because we are used to talking with each other in our native language. So, you know, like when you're like every day you're out, you're talking with your family, like with your relatives, everyone your native language, and then you're going in a school and just talking in a foreign language. It's kind of a bit weird sometimes, you know. So yeah, I mean, but yeah, that's the situation exactly.
And so we're not going to talk about specific reasons why you had to leave, but let's talk about, can you tell us, like, what is it like for people that's involved in activism in Kashmir, people that are trying to, fight for freedom of Kashmir or this kind of thing. Can you tell us like what kind of oppression do they face? And tell us about how activists are treated in Kashmir.
Well, for example, if you're talking about India, like it's impossible to even say that they're like you're an activist, like even they are pretending to be a democratic country, but they almost trying to shut every voice of the people who even just think even about the freedom of Kashmir. There were even the rape cases like with women committed by Indian military. Like I was watching, like I don't know, since 2 decades or something else. Like it was more than 30,000 rape cases. So and India is they're really they don't feel shame even to do that. And unfortunately there was a curfew since very long time. Because there is also same things going on like how there is in West Bank there is a settlers like coming from Israel to live in Palestine. So India is doing the same thing actually. They're just bringing settlers actually from the central India, from Mumbai and other part of the India to live in Kashmir. And of course, like we have also some examples. I will later, if you want, I will share some data with you, like about the activists. They hanged out in Indian jails. Actually, they just hanged them because they were asking for the freedom of Kashmir. So and like we are like every year we are trying to organize something like like the anniversary like of them, like for us they are not died, they sacrificed their life for the freedom of Kashmir. So we are trying to just keep send the message and like carry on our struggles. So in Pakistan, I will say, like as I said, like we have a privilege of religion, so maybe they have this type of fear. And of course, like Kashmir is like an excuse for Pakistan, and India to just distract their peoples actually from the real issues. Whenever like in Pakistan or India, like people are asking them for their rights, so Kashmir is the only space where they can start war, to just distract people from the main issues. So like who's gonna die there? I mean, the majority, like innocent peoples, actually they have nothing to do with the like war, because we know that on both parts there is a Kashmir, so there is a people of Kashmir that are living there. So I mean, I can't shoot I cannot shoot or I cannot bomb the people like the another part of the like Kashmir, because we know that it's also Kashmir over there. So it's only that these conflicts are always going between military of Pakistan and India, and like innocent Kashmiris are suffering all of that. So being an activist in Kashmir, like it's difficult as well. It's not as difficult as it in India, but still it's difficult because there is some intelligence of Pakistan. They're targeting peoples. They are since, as I told you, there was a big movement. It was started like since 1 year ago, and this movement was literally just about basic rights. For example, like there was a tax-free electricity, because there is a very huge dam in Kashmir. It's called Mangla Dam, and I think it's 5th or 6th big dam in the world. Like, so Pakistan is making electricity there. So when they make this dam, there was like many villages and like many towns, they suffered from the flood actually when they were making this. So there was a commitment between the public of Kashmir and Pakistani government, like they are gonna give us like in a like less cost comparatively Pakistani peoples. So now we were paying, like since many years we were paying at the same cost, and like we still have, like even we don't have sometime like maybe 2-3 days or 1 week we don't have electricity over there, so it's really sometimes it's getting very complicated to manage all of that. So the like second demand was just a subsidy on the wheat, and these are really basic needs of peoples actually, like we cannot afford, like when you're living in Kashmir, like mountains, you don't have facilities, and like Kashmir is not a very big industrial area, so we have very few possibilities actually to do the jobs. So majority of like you can say adults are in abroad actually. They came in abroad to work, so yeah, it's very difficult. And then there was another allowances on the officers on the higher posts, because they are using our tax, and they were like literally they're they have if you will see the expenses, how much they spend on for their protocol actually. So yeah, it's kind of obvious for us, we are not even having our basic needs, and these people are just enjoying their life with our money. So this issue is also going in High Court right now, but yeah, we don't know what will be outcome, because of course it's not easy to stay against this rate. And the fourth demand was just since this movement was started, they arrested actually many activists. There were many activists, they were in jail, and many of them, they were just kidnapped, they were just disappeared. So yeah, disappeared by unknown peoples, but we know who are these unknown peoples actually. We know very well, because it's not just a coincidence can be happen just once or twice, so we are suffering it from decades. So now we are actually used to, and we know very well actually, because few times even people saw them kidnapping people, actually kidnapping activists, in Kashmir. So yeah, of course there are some secret agencies. The people are from some secret agencies and intelligence, but yeah, they are coming not in a uniform, in civil. So you never know actually, so who they are, because they are not having any type of identity with them, so we can recognize them. But yeah, many times they were having cars which were more recognizable actually from where they belong. So yeah, it's not easy as well, even in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir right now.
Yeah, it sounds really tough, and obviously there's a lot of oppression. It sounds like if you talk about freedom for Kashmir, then you can be arrested or disappear. That's really terrible. It's interesting, we don't hear about Kashmir very much in Western media, I don't think. Especially not in the UK, we don't hear about Kashmir very often. So you had to leave Kashmir. When was it? When did you leave?
I left Kashmir when I was 17 years old, so yeah.
Wow, so that's 9 years ago.
Yeah, almost 17, 18, yeah. It was almost 9 years ago, yeah.
Almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, almost 17, 18, yeah. It was almost 9 years ago, yeah.
So you were really young. And
very young.
Can you tell us about I heard about you through Klara, who was an activist in Bosnia, and she told me about a house you lived in. So let's talk about Bosnia, but first, can you tell me about, your journey to Bosnia? What happened? How did you get there?
I was in Bosnia. I think it was 2021. I was in Bosnia, and yeah, in 2022 I came in Italy. So yeah, it was a very tough experience actually for me, because since I left Kashmir through Iran, I came to Turkey, and then after Turkey I came to Greece. There was always someone who were helping us. We were paying traffickers to help us to pass the borders. But yeah, after that, after Greece I just made it by own actually, by using GPS. So yeah, it was very very tough actually, because I passed through Albania, Montenegro, and then I came in Bosnia. So yeah, in Bosnia, of course, it's I lived there in a winter, so yeah, it's really horrible actually in winter to survive there. And I was not even living in camps, which are to give accommodations to migrant, but these camps are not just to accommodate people, but yeah, it's kind of prison. So I never actually preferred to live in the camp. I was I was happy to live outside. I know I have to suffer a lot, but yeah, I was mentally prepared, because 2-3 times I went in the camp to just see the situation. So yeah, it was really horrible actually, how they treat people in the camps. Like when you will go in the camps, they are really far from the cities, and they are not just camp, you know. They exactly looks like a prison, you know. When you will see like security around you, like you feel like you're the most wanted criminal in the world, and I don't know why they're trying to just to put me in this place. Actually, even I haven't committed any crime, you know. So yeah, for like some people's can be an excuse. Okay, crossing a border is a crime. Like we are hearing a lot right now. But yeah, I mean, but it's not as big as they treat you, you know. So yeah, for me, for example, borders means nothing. Just divide peoples.
I agree.
Yeah, and then the way they treat people inside, there was torture going on, like from these there was police, and there was some also special forces. Actually, they really hurt people. And then there was even if there is a few conflict going on between some people, so they're gonna punish everyone, literally everyone who's living in the camp, you know, who have nothing to do with that conflict. And like, of course, when you're like taking people from the outside, like they don't ask you for money, they don't ask you for any help, you know. Just people, they want to live outside, you know, freely. So they don't even disturb the you can say citizens. They don't do nothing like with anyone, you know. So they're just trying to even pass through, because majority people, they just want to pass through from Bosnia, but police is just trying to find every place like where people are trying to manage somehow, you know, in tents or like in abandoned houses they are living somewhere. So police is just keeping them from there and just putting them in this closed camp, you know. So a lot of people, like of course, after having this type of past and like, you know, the tough journey actually, because people left from different countries. Like myself, I came from Kashmir. There are people from Pakistan, Afghanistan, Syria, and Bangladesh, and like many other countries, you know. So we never know what's going on in someone's head. So yeah, people are in trouble, you know. So it's quite normal actually if people are getting headache, or like even if if there is any conflict between two people. So this is, I think, a not normal thing. Like at the end, we are humans, you know. So yeah, being a migrant in Bosnia, it was it was really very, very tough experience, because after this there was like even like you are not allowed to go in some restaurants or in some shops, you know. So sometimes, of course, you're gonna face some racism from the peoples, but also there is some people, they're just afraid to allow you to come inside, because they're saying that no, we have a problem of police, so you peoples are illegal, you are migrants, so we cannot allow you to enter in the shop or in restaurant. So yeah, I mean, I was like luckily I never refused many times, because I never tried to enter somewhere a lot actually, because I was more specifically I knew that actually where I will go, so they will not refuse me. So I was just going in very few places, you know, and I always tried to just stay away from the city. So yeah, I was just like between the camp and the city. So we were just I was with some friends actually from Kashmir, and yeah, some friends from Afghanistan. Sometimes, yeah, it depends. Like people were coming to live with us. Yeah, we were like very welcoming actually to everyone. We were just watching this space how much we have, so we were saying like no problem. And then luckily I got in contact with the activists actually from Europe. So yeah, like Klara and her friends, and like yeah. It was really great actually for me, because luckily I can speak different languages. So yeah, sometimes people were just coming after the pushbacks in very bad situations. So yeah, there was always journalists or some activists, they want to report it. So yeah, I was there to translate it. So yeah, I was trying as much as I can. And some people, they are in need of medicine. I'm sorry, I think I have to just silence this phone, otherwise it's gonna annoy us. I'm sorry.
So you said you were talking about the abuse in the camps. Was this happening in like Lipa camp? And I went to Lipa. I didn't go inside Lipa camp, but I went to Lipa. and I went to Barichi. Did it happen in these two camps as well, or in other places in Bosnia?
Yeah, of course. It was happening in Lipa camp. It was happening in Velika Koladusha. It was happening also in the Sarajevo. So yeah, I mean, I have met many people actually. There was testimonies like the people were telling me how they got tortured actually without any reason. They literally didn't do anything. Like, of course, there was some traffickers, like they were helping people to go through the borders. So, sometimes there is different groups of these traffickers, So, yeah, if unfortunately they are also the creation of this border police, If they were not there, so there could be no trafficker, We don't need them. So, yeah, sometimes if there is any conflict going on between them, so they are literally gonna torture everyone who's living in the camp, because you never know who is the trafficker. So sometimes, like, the people who do these type of jobs, they are also in the camps, sometimes. So you really don't have any idea. Like, this is also another kind of risk for peoples actually to talk with someone, because at the end of the day, you have to cross Bosnia. You have to go in the country where your destination is, So you need the help of someone. Like, there was not many people like me who can use mobile phone, who can use GPS, or just who know the maps and these things. Because, I got pushed back actually many times because I was not that much mastermind that I just successful in first time. But yeah. I was just learning every time by mistakes, and I was trying my best actually to even just accompany people as much as I can. But yeah, at the end I decided to come just with one friend, because I tried actually many times. Always I have some peoples with me, but yeah, I was just saying them to, okay, just follow me and just don't make a noise, because otherwise if you will... I don't know if you know, like, traffickers, they are also they are hurting people really so bad. Like, there is abuse from traffickers, like people are suffering also, like women's, and yeah, it's really horrible actually. It's like, abusive language they are using actually, shouting on people, because people are coming from different countries. So some of them, they are not used to walk a lot, or some of them, they cannot walk on the mountains. So yeah, because I was like more friendly with people, and I don't need money from anyone, because I knew that I'm just going, I have to pass through from these countries and I have to somehow reach on my destination. So yeah, but yeah, with many people it was getting so difficult for me, because I tried, but yeah, I'm not the person who just get aggressive with people. So yeah, who just obligate others to do something. So yeah, at the end I decided, okay, I have to now think about myself as well.
So how long, so you said you lived in Turkey for 4 years, and then how long did it take you to get to Bosnia? Did it take a long time?
Okay, so I came in Greece when it was COVID. So yeah, like, borders were sealed, like we cannot move anywhere. So I have many bad memories actually. In Greece, actually, they fined me like twice because it was COVID. So I was just literally out of my house. I got a fine twice, like 300 euros for nothing, literally, because there was specific hours when you can go outside, and I went to just buy a food, because even like markets for grocery, like everything was closed, so we cannot even cook at home. So I went there to buy something, but there was a big lines, like takeaway orders. So I was just coming back, and twice they caught me in my street, like literally in front of my door, and they just fined me. So yeah, I said okay, because yeah, it was not a good moment to leave actually Greece. So yeah. Then when COVID was almost finished, the quarantine was finished and there was no lockdown, so then I decided to move from Greece. But yeah, I had a request of asylum actually in Greece, but yeah, unfortunately I got a negative response, because the people from Kashmir, they don't consider them like the people from Kashmir. They're saying, okay, you are in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, so yeah, in Pakistan there is no problem, there is no issues. So yeah, they consider as a safe place, they consider Kashmir as a safe country. So yeah, I said okay, I have to continue then.
And so, when you were in Bosnia, when I went to Bosnia, I went to the building you used to live in. It was a squat near a road, and it had a big graffiti on the wall of like Angelina was on the wall, and Klara told me that she had dinner with you guys there. There was you. And she brought you a dog. So can you tell us about the dog? Tell us about living in the squat and what life was like in there.
Yeah, it was amazing actually. Like I think the building you're talking about is like it's more in the Bihac, because I was living outside where you saw the house of Amore. My dog, she calls her name is Amore, which gave like friend of Lydia, because when they gift me this puppy, like she was asking me, do you have any name in your mind? So I don't know, still no, but I'll think about it. And so she said, what if I can give her a name? So okay, go ahead. And then she told me, okay, so we are gonna call her Amore. I mean, I didn't even knew that time actually what does it mean. So she told me Amore means love. So yeah. They bring me because they found her like on the terminal, and she was just lost actually. So yeah, she was lost from her siblings and from her mom. So yeah, they just found her. It was a kind of even rainy day. So yeah, Lydia and Klara, they asked me like, okay, so we have a gift for you. Mostly gift or surprise, but this time we have to tell you what gift is this. But yeah, if you are planning to stay here in the winter, so we can bring you, And yeah, I mean, I can't even explain you how good is it to having a puppy there. For me, like it was very, very helpful, because I'm the person who really don't do anything, like no smoking, no drinking, literally nothing, Like many of my friends always mocking me about these habits, like how you're living. It's impossible to live without that. So yeah, how you're passing the time, So it was really good to have this puppy. Like yeah, she was just eating whatever we was eating. So yeah, but also like these volunteers was also bringing us food actually for Amore, but what they were bringing for her like was not enough for her, like, because I mean puppies are like more, they're always very hungry, and they always want to eat more, so you have to be very careful actually with them. But I mean to be honest, I was not very professional to grow puppies. Actually, we have animals in Kashmir, but yeah, we are just feeding them whatever we eat. So they grew like depends like who's petting any puppies or dogs. But yeah, I mean. She was eating everything, like yeah, it was just not yeah, I mean it's funny, like once she was eating like potatoes which were not even cooked, so I just took out from her mouth, because I was like with my friend, okay, no, now it's too much actually, we have to teach her a little bit, So yeah, it was really very good, because our house become very famous actually in volunteers and other organizations, like there were different like Red Cross and like a lot of people, they were coming from different places. So yeah, I don't know, maybe we got lucky actually when police was coming sometimes very close to our house. But they were like going in other places, they were just looking for people actually where they live. So yeah, they were just trying to always just push them back in the camps, So yeah, we got lucky actually. So we never actually they never threw us back in the camps. But yeah, it was good actually. People know Amore, so many people they just wrote I was watching in the mobile phones on the maps, like many people they saved the drop pin called Amore, and it was amazing. Yeah.
How long did you live in that house, in the Amore house?
I think we lived maybe she was even less than 1 year actually when I came in Italy. So yeah, I think like one winter maybe, yeah, we lived together. So yeah, in March 2022 I came in Italy. So yeah, in March I was here, like in the end of the March, like 20 March I came in Italy. So yeah, Amore was there, and now she's in Slovenia, because friend of mine, she's a journalist actually, she's from Slovenia, so yeah, she asked me like if you want I can just take her from Bosnia. So yeah, it was a big movement actually, very big moment for me, with like happiness, because my mind was always about like I was thinking about her, because like okay, what will happen. So yeah, then when I left actually Bosnia, I arrived in Italy. So yeah, there were some volunteers actually from Germany. They took Amore from our place, and then Amore was with them like few days, like I don't know, maybe few weeks, until a friend of mine managed to go in Bosnia to make her passport and everything. And now Amore is in Slovenia, and she's living in Ljubljana, and luckily she's with the rich family, so I'm happy, like at least she got a good life.
That's good.
Yeah.
And then how many people did you live with in that house?
Like it depends, like sometimes we were like 14, 15, sometimes like 10, sometimes 6, 7. It depends, like people were going and coming, you know. Some it depends on people. So like sometimes some people were just not trying to go on game by own self, because we call it a game, as you know, because it's like if you made it, so yeah, you're successful. If not, so try again, you know. So that's why they call it game. So yeah, sometimes some people, they just try to take a help actually from traffickers. So somehow yeah, sometimes they reach, sometimes they got pushed back. So yeah, I mean, it was it was kind of always moving people, like new people are coming, and like old people are still there, or sometimes old people who are living before, they are just going actually. So yeah, it was always like this.
Klara said that you used to cook. She showed me your oven. So I went in the building. There's no one living there now. I don't think anybody lives there, but there's some things left. So there was some food in there that we found, some tinned food, and there was like the place where you cooked. Did you cook a lot in there, or did you, like, what kind of food did you eat?
Yeah, we were cooking always actually. There was a market actually close to our house, so yeah, we were just bringing always fresh food. So yeah, we was just vegetables, meat, whatever, like, you know, we have. So yeah, I mean, like most of the time when volunteers ask her, okay, what you need, so I was just asking them, okay, you can bring us just milk and tea, and you know, these stuff, like more like, because then we have to even cook tea for them or something else, you know, to share with them. So yeah, I mean, but yeah, they were even bringing us other stuff, like we need flour, you know, wheat and this thing, like to cook, because we are used to eat bread. So we were cooking there. So I remember, like, we were teaching Klara actually how to cook the bread, because we have a bread, it's called chapati. It's a bit different, the round bread. So yeah, it's very thin, you know. So yeah, it was a good memories actually. She was trying to learn actually to make it round, because it was a bit difficult for her. Like I still remember, she and some other her friends, they were saying, like, struggling a lot, like, oh, why we can't make it around exactly like you, and like, yeah, or like, yeah, but it was really fun also, you know, like cooking all together, like people, like, yeah, it's really, so these are so special moments, like the people you never imagine even in your life, like you're gonna meet, and then they're coming, just they're meeting you, and then you're becoming friendly and just sharing, like, you know, everything, like food, like the past you had, like the, you know, the current situation, they're talking about future, and like, yeah, because most of the people, like on the move, they have like majority have a bad experience, you know, they suffered a lot, so they have really less hope actually. So we don't know when we are gonna go in Europe, so who we are gonna meet, if there is good people, or like maybe everyone is like cops, you know. So because they just only meet cops actually always on the borders, because they're always trying to escape from the villages or from the cities, and just going somewhere where no one can approach them. So whenever they are getting pushed back, there is always somewhere hidden cops and militaries, so they're just sometimes torturing them, sometimes just shouting on them, you know, depends on the situation. But yeah, of course, I saw many people really very brutally injured actually, like they almost break their bones actually. They were not even able to came back on their legs to the center in Bosnia, so many times ambulance was carrying them. And even ambulance, sometime when you call ambulance, sometime in Bosnia it's also another problem, like ambulance even don't come to just bring you in a hospital or somewhere to just treat you, at least to see people. There is just Red Cross, and these people, the specific organizations, only they are allowed to go on the borders, and they are only allowed to go there to see people if there is someone injured, so they can bring them in hospital or in camps, depends on situation. Because we tried to call ambulance, but the last time when we got pushed back, we were running out of food and everything, so we have literally nothing to survive. So we tried to call them, and we were actually very hurt that time. So we were kind of I don't know, it was already dark, but still we can't walk very well, we was just thinking we don't have mobile phones, nothing, and literally when they're pushing you back in a sport where you cannot see your own feet, that much dark actually. So you really don't have no idea actually where to go, and when it's cold you cannot even stay on one place. So luckily we were somewhere close to the road, so we just said just keep walking until the morning, so maybe we are gonna find someone. So we were trying to walk as much as we can, and then luckily we had one mobile phone actually, but which was almost broken, but luckily I tried to, because the police just threw it because they thought it's not gonna work anymore. But when we reached in the center, so we turned it on, so it was still working. So there was a volunteer actually from Germany. I just called him, and these are really, I think I have to maybe write a book on it actually, but I'm not good in writing, so I will say. Then this guy, he just asked me, okay, where are you? Tell me right now. It was even I don't know, it was 3 a.m, very early. So he just they just cooked and food that time, and they bring us food and all this stuff. We still find an abandoned house in Bosnia. Unfortunately there was a war actually in the past, so it's easy sometime to find abandoned houses. So it depends on people, if you are a bit confident to go somewhere to deal with the situation, because people are even afraid to go in even abandoned houses, because you never know, maybe it's a private property, so someone is coming and that they're gonna call police or this stuff. So you have to be very careful about all this stuff. So we were kind of a bit used to occupy the abandoned houses. So
must be very, very stressful and hard. It must be really stressful and really difficult to relax. I can't imagine that situation.
It's very difficult to even relax, because you're sleeping in a place where you never know. It's a private property or it's just abandoned house. So maybe police is just coming in a while, But it was a tough experience. But at the end, I'm happy that we made it to reach here. So the friend of mine who came with me, he was actually a minor. He was under 18, so now he's in Germany, and he's 20 years old. So he got the documents, and I'm very happy for him. He's still studying actually there. So
Can you I just have a few more questions. Can you tell me, how did you get to Italy? Can you tell us about leaving Bosnia and how you got to Italy?
It was a long passage. We tried actually many times to we tried many times actually to go by all way walking until the Italy. But twice I got pushed back from very close to the Italy. It was almost 2 days remaining to reach. We were walking from 13-14 days, and we have a very heavy luggage, and it was very frustrating actually when we got pushed back, because I was hopeful, at least maybe they're gonna give us asylum, like we're from Kashmir, so we have these issues. But yeah, they just pushed us back without asking anything. And like, yeah, they even, every time they pushed back people, they're burning your stuff, like whatever they have, they're taking your mobile phones, money, literally everything. So the last time we was lucky because some friend of mine, they told me like, you can go in the village and then you can take a bus from there to come in the capital of Zagreb. So from Zagreb you can take another bus to go a bit closer in where it is the border of Slovenia. So yeah, we did it actually. We went in the village, so we took the bus from there. We actually escaped from police twice or maybe 3 times because they were looking for us. They saw us actually there, but we ran away from them. We were in the city, so we were heading on some places. Like, yeah, it was quite complicated to manage all of them because we were more afraid. Like, okay, so if they got us now, so then it's gonna be something very serious. Like, it's gonna be real deal. So yeah, but we got lucky actually. We came to Zagreb, and then from Zagreb, there was a friend of mine actually. I was in contact with her. I told her like, okay, what we can do now. So she asked me, okay, so what's your plan? I told her, okay, there is a people who are telling me like you can go from Zagreb to take another bus, and there is another city, I don't remember the name, but yeah, it's close to the Slovenia. So you have to leave bus and then you have to walk all the way Slovenia, like until the Italy. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna mention her name, but yeah, then she told me, okay, please don't risk this time because you already faced a lot of difficulties, so I'm coming, so I'm gonna give you a ride. So she gave us a ride from Zagreb to like close to the border of Slovenia. So yeah, then after that we start walking, and then we crossed the border of Slovenia. And we entered in Slovenia, and we walked like until Italy. We were just all the way we were walking. So we have some clothes. She bring us clothes and like some food and something. So yeah, which was very helpful. So when we came into Italy, so we just changed up, and we have a water and this stuff. So we just kind of washed up before entering in the city in Trieste. So yeah, it's funny when we entered. So we had some money, so I went in the restaurant with my friend, and I didn't know that at that time it was mandatory to have a green pass. Like, it was still COVID going on here, so yeah. But we didn't know that like we must have to have this green card to enter in the restaurants if it's dining or something else. But yeah, we were in clean clothes because we just changed the clothes, we washed our faces and everything. So yeah, the guy where I went in the restaurant was a Kurdish guy. So like he was speaking Turkish. So I just directly started to communicate with him in Turkish. So he had no idea that we don't have we just entered in Italy. So he was asking me like, you have a green pass? I said, no, we don't have. So he thought I'm kidding with him. But I told him, no, I'm serious. We don't have a green pass. And then he was like, oh, do you know, if they check, so they're gonna get me fine, So I said, okay, we can do it, take away. So like, I mean, we had this privilege. So I was speaking Turkish with him, and like, we was talking about already until he prepared our order. So like, we were talking about Kurdistan as well, because I have some activist friend from Kurdistan. So I was telling him, no, I'm aware about Kurdistan, the situation there right now. So like, he said, okay, no, you can eat inside now. So yeah, I mean, we just ate in there in like quickly, and then yeah, because most of the time, unfortunately, when you will go to the Trieste, like there is the situation of people you will see when they're just arriving, like, and their feet like they have wounded feet because they some of them they're just arriving when they have no shoes, nothing, because everything almost gave up when you are coming to Italy, like, because a lot of people, they come all the way by walk from Bosnia until Italy. So it's really difficult because many people I know, when they reach Italy, so they didn't have even food since last 2-3 days, because it's difficult to manage food, like, having food like just in a backpack for 15 to 20 days. It's really difficult. Yeah, but we were just trying to have just breads and some foods like some dry fruits and this stuff, like what we can just maintain our energy to at least walk, because bread is gonna expire like in just first week, so then you cannot do anything. So it's difficult to even reserve the food, and then this heavy weight. Because I remember once I pushed back to Bosnia. Like there was a Croatian military, and there was a soldier. He was not believing me that I took all this stuff from Bosnia. He was saying, no, it's impossible. How you walked? Like my bag was really very heavy. So I said, no, I swear I took it from Bosnia. Like he was keep asking me, no, tell me from where you brought it. Like you bought it from here, somewhere in Croatia, which city, which shop. Like he was trying to more ask me, like, no, tell me the shopkeeper or this who said. I said, no, I mean, I swear, like why should I go in the cities? Like I'm afraid to go in the cities or in the shops. Like I know if I will go there, so they're gonna call you, and then you're gonna do what you're doing right now. So like it's even complicated to respond them sometimes, because that's what I heard, and I was always trying to be very careful, because when you're talking with them in English, like when you're responding them, like in English, or they look you like bit more confident comparatively other people, so sometimes they think like, okay, you are the smuggler, So that's why we also have to be very careful about this, because sometimes I was just I was just telling them, okay, they was just asking me something, so I was just responding them in a very short way, like as much as I can, because I have also this type of fear, like, okay, if they recognize me as a smuggler, so what can I do? Even if I am not, so I mean, nobody's gonna listen, and nobody can even see what's gonna happen with me.
Yeah, God, that's so terrible. I can't believe what you've been through. You've been through some crazy times. I'm so happy that you're in Italy now, and that hopefully life is going to be better now. It sounds like it should be less chaotic.
Comparatively, Bosnia, of course, life is very good in Italy. I have many friends in Italy. I met them in Bosnia, and since I came in Italy, I met like with many activists, and always trying to participate as much as I can in manifestations and in different, even local politics in Bologna. Like we are like Bologna is like super comfortable for activists. Actually, it's, I think, one of the best city in Italy. So I mean, it's very open actually, because I have friends actually in other parts of Italy, but sometimes we have feedbacks like, okay, they're facing some racism and this stuff. Of course, it's also in Bologna, but not that much. Like if you're just thinking about like people, like the young generation is like more open, they don't have any issues actually with migrants, nothing. But of course, when you're going in offices, sometimes when you don't speak Italian, so it's really tough sometimes, the way they treat you, they answer you, like even it's hospital or like it's other places, like it's it's like other offices, but everywhere they treat you very differently. So right now I'm more comfortable, because I have I mean, I have a not very good, but at least a good level of Italian. At least I can communicate with people comfortably, like without any problem. So I don't have to face this problem. But I'm sorry. I'm feeling sorry for a lot of people. It's like they're here in Italy since many years, but still they can't they can't speak Italian. So they are facing these difficulties every day. And it's not even in Europe. It's not even in Italy, but it's everywhere in Europe.
Well, I'm going to have to go now, Denny. But this has been a really, really good conversation. I've really enjoyed talking to you, and thank you so much for talking to me. Hopefully, we can talk again in the future.
Sure. I mean, it was a pleasure for me as well. Thank you so much. Like, I mean, I was talking with some activist friends. Like, I was telling them, okay, when I left Kashmir, so I had this regret of leaving Kashmir, and I was like, okay, now I can't do anything more about Kashmir, So I was like very sad about it, because majority of young generation in Kashmir, we have always like this mentality, like I have to do something for my country, because we grew up in like civil wars and like watching these issues and suffering every day in our country. So yeah, but I mean, I think I don't regret right now as much as I was doing before, because I think I really didn't have any idea of like we heard some stories of these Balkan routes and like other border violence and these things, but I never even imagined like, okay, one day I will speak about this issue with the peoples and I will tell them, and I think now this is very important for me. So yeah, for sure, like I will try to speak as much as I can about this issue with you, with other peoples, and I'm happy that you invited me and you gave me the chance to share my experience and to listen me and to share with peoples. And I'm looking forward actually. So for sure, I'm hopeful that you're also gonna search a bit more about Kashmir myself. So yeah, if you need help anywhere, so just write me, so I'm gonna share informations. And so yeah, in general, our goal is same, just maybe different way, but yeah, I'm happy.
Thank you very much, Denny. How do you say thank you in Kashmiri?
Like we say meherbani.
Meherbani.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was great. Yeah.
Okay, that was episode 63 of the Civil Fleet podcast. Thank you so much for listening. And thanks again to Denny for coming on the Civil Fleet podcast. And thanks to Klara from No Name Kitchen, who helped me get in touch with Denny. That was really helpful. Thanks very much. So at the end of the podcast, what do we normally say? We say go check out the blog, civilfleet.com. We've got news stories, exclusive reports and things on there at civilfleet.com. Also, if you like what the Civil Fleet is doing, you can share us around, tell your friends about it. You can share our stuff on social media. You can, put it on the White Cliffs of Dover or something. Put it somewhere. Tell people about it. Anyway, the other thing you can do is you can give us a small donation. You can help us cover the costs of running the Civil Fleet. You can do that by going to ko-fi.com/civilfleet. That's ko-fi.com/civilfleet. And you can make a small donation there of like £2 or something, which is probably like, €3, €2.50 or something. And that would help us to cover the costs. Our costs are super low at the Civil Fleet, but any help you can give us will be greatly appreciated. And you'll also get access to the bonus episode on there. Hopefully I've got another episode coming out later this month. I've not managed to get 2 episodes out in a while, but hopefully this month I can do that. Enjoy. Cheers.